Chengi Member of Parliament, given Katuta, thank you for joining us today on this day.
Thank you so much, Justin. And thank you to Diamond TV to give me this opportunity. Yeah.
Happy belated Women's Day and happy Women's Month to you.
Oh, thank you. I thought you had also my birthday and my wedding anniversary because it all fell the 6th of March. It was my birthday, wedding anniversary, 8th of March, Women's International. Yeah.
Happy birthday, belated birthday, and happy belated anniversary as well.
It feels good like that.
Very interesting month that we're in, and I'd like to start off our conversation with just talking about the month that is dedicated to celebrating women. How would you describe how this month has been utilized to center our attention towards women? You being an independent member of parliament, you're a woman, but you equally speak up for women.
I would say it has been a very good week, month, and I've seen a lot of women, and a lot of women were very excited. It's like now we are understanding who we are, and that we can contribute in one or another towards the development of our great nations. I saw that across the whole world, people were busy celebrating Women's Day. Even at the UN, General Assembly Hall, they had a very wonderful time where they even gave the colors of the T-shirts that they should wear: green, purple, and white. I've seen this year it has been quite an interesting celebration for women, and I must say we need to do more. And we need to make women understand that they can never be limited in whatever they want to do. They are quite important in the society. And looking at back now to our country, I would say we did well. And also we displayed maturity, unity, love, and we were able to show the world that where women are, we don't fight. And we had a very quite nice moment. No fights, no incidents. So we want to take also this to another level to show our country that the only way we can do this is for women to show the men that you can come together despite coming from different faith, different political parties, or from different, I would say, tribes and any other thing that you can think of. I've seen that women have showed that they're unifiers. It was wonderful the way they celebrated. Yeah.
I know that you do speak up and you are a voice for women, young girls as well, when you get the opportunity to do so. And my next question is centered around what we saw last year regarding Bill 7, which was eventually passed into law. And my focus is going to be specifically on the mixed member proportional representation, which does give a number of seats to women within the August House. Were you in support of this bill at that time before it was passed into law?
I wasn't in support of the bill because, like I've just alluded to, that we're able to show that women, we can do better. And we don't have to be a charity as women. We need to show the world that we can do, when it comes to politics, leadership, business, or any other. We can do what men can do in terms of jobs, professions. So when I start seeing that women now, any government wants to use this as a political tool to say we want women to come in parliament for free without exercising what it is to be a leader. In politics, leadership is contested. You need to contest. When you are given anything for free, even for when you look at chiefdoms, no one just goes to sit just like that. You see that there's that thing of contesting somehow. The family will sit, who is next to sit on the throne. Others will say it's this one, others will say it's this one. So now when women are tend to believe that you can only be given anything on a silver platter, then you are not being helped. What I expected the Bill 7 to talk about was to have certain constituencies where only women would contest. And so by doing so, we come up with the 20 free seats. So say in 20 constituencies, we are only going to have females contesting. In other words, women will get that for free. Whether poor or what, they will just contest and get a seat. In other words, we'll be giving away for free. Then we'll have other constituencies where women and men will contest. Then we'll have other constituencies where we're going to say the youths will contest, only the youths. Then we're going to have constituencies where we're going to say persons with disabilities will contest. I'll tell you something. I have a lot of colleagues who are persons with disabilities who say we don't want to be treated like a charity. We can contest. Then you just come up with constituencies. Say these are specifically for persons with disabilities. These are constituencies specifically for women. These are constituencies specifically for the young people. These are constituencies now for whosoever feels can contest. Then we'll achieve even the numbers of having at least 40% of women in the parliament. But as it is, you give someone a seat to go and sit there, who will be loyal to whosoever appointed them. They cannot argue if the government is bringing bills such as Bill 7, because they have to align themselves with that particular...
But isn't this what's already happening within the August House?
I beg your pardon?
Isn't this what is already in existence or happening within the National Assembly?
And I'm saying, let me tell you, I'm saying this is now, it's even worse. The time of PF, I've been in Parliament since 2016. The time of PF, politicians would also align, members of Parliament, will align themselves with their political party ideologies, not aligning themselves with the people sent them there. And that has been my pain. And I've come to realize that political parties in Zambia, when they send their people to Parliament, it's about the political party and not to represent the people of Zambia. So what is happening now is to go to the current government, in their thinking, is to have more numbers so that they can do whatever they want to do. I'll tell you something. There's no law which had prohibited the current regime to appoint women. For example, the eight nominations of members of Parliament. If the president had interest in the women, he would have only nominated females, seeing that we don't have numbers in Parliament for females, and also from Upnd. Also, if we talk of the young people, you've seen the appointments of ambassadors and all these positions. Show me a young ambassador like yourself. And yet we have a precedent of having Vernon Mwanga, a young man, being appointed as an ambassador. No one has stopped the current government to do that. If you look at the PSs that we have in our country, show me a young PS of your age. There's nothing like that. So what I'm against is this idea of wanting to come in the name of a law that would make people think we are doing the right thing when we've not practiced that.
Don't you think that this particular mixed member proportion representation system is good, because then it will now see political parties being able to adopt women? Because this has been the general concern that
no, they will not be adopting.
Political parties
They will not be adopting, they will be giving. If, depending on the percentage, this political party, the votes that they've had,
yes, so it does
they are
depend.
going to pick. You understand? They are going to pick.
Yes, so isn't
So
this deliberate for these political parties then to now give chance to women who have not
let
been picked?
me say this. For example, for argument's sake, if today I get 60% of the total votes, the people that I'm going to pick, according to the proportion of the percentage that the votes, the number of votes that I got, the women that I'm going to pick, there will be women who are going to represent me, not the people of Zambia. That's where the challenge is. Who are they going to speak for? They'll speak for me, and if I send in a bill, I'll talk to them, make sure that bill goes through. Listen, we don't need to have an executive-centered kind of government or style of governance. We need it to be people-centered. When we say people-centered, we are saying that Zambians should speak through their representatives. The Bill 7, a lot of Zambians rejected it, even some chiefs. But because our colleagues, they felt like they will not come back. They needed to come back. Some of the members, they wanted to use the part of delimitation. And they knew very well that what they were doing was wrong. It's all about coming back to parliament and not about representing the people of Zambia. So others had the hope, this side, okay, Chienge is going to be delimitated. This side, okay, I'm not strong this side, so someone can take that. Let me take this side of Chienge so that I come back to parliament. So I'll allow this to go through without reading in between the lines of what was the intention of that Bill 7. So I'm not against women going to parliament, but I'm against women going to do nothing in parliament.
You think that those women will be
those
doing
women,
nothing?
are they going to speak against the government if they're handpicked?
There's a possibility.
Show me any member of parliament from UPND who is able to stand now as a backbencher to speak against the government. Here we are. It's a very practical example. Show me any member of parliament from UPND who is able to stand as a backbencher, because the role of a backbencher is to hold the executive accountable. Now show me, bring even a clip here, say here. They can't.
Let's move on. Let's talk about delimitation. Have you participated in any of the pre-delimitation exercises that have been ongoing?
I did that in 2019.
What about now?
I couldn't, because I was given a notice of 2 days. How do I travel to Chienge in 2 days? It's far. Everything has been done in a way of rushing up everything. Bill 7 was rushed. Delimitation meetings were rushed. And now we have these meetings for verification of results, which is coming up here next week. We had this verification of voters register, which has not been well publicized in the media.
Why do you say that? Why do you think it has not been properly publicized?
The verification of voters register, voters cards or something like that. Or
yeah, the inspection of the voter register.
Yes. You go to the centers, it's like, don't tell me everyone in Ngombe has a smartphone or knows how to do it online to check. No. And then we're given just a day, and they say, no, we can't.
No, given an extension of 2 days.
And a person like me, I checked using my phone, used to tell me to go to the nearest polling station. I tried online, I couldn't. So I had to now to go in person. So how many people have failed to verify online?
Well, they make it very simple. They made it very simple. The Electoral Commission of Zambia. It's in USSD format, and it also works for
you. But I'm talking. I have a phone, a smartphone. I have a very good phone. Now, now I want to tell you that if I was failing, you can go to Charlotte Trust where I had to go and change and go in person. And I even showed the person that this is what's happening whenever I use my phone.
How would you recommend then it should have been
online
done?
And the USSD, it was not working out for me.
And physical inspection as well.
I had to go for physical. And that's an inconvenience.
So how then do you think it should have been done? Because they gave you 3 options to do.
You say they gave you as a Zambian. Let me tell you, we are not beggars of our rights in our country. It's our right to do things according to the Constitution and not to be rushed by anyone. That's our right. No one should do things like hurry, like it's in your own home. No, we are Zambians, and you cannot say
But if the law requests for this to be done.
Which law did they use that somebody in Chiengi, who is my mother, who cannot read, understood what was going on? How many people have been left out? Even how many people have been left out? Even in Shangombo, even there in Chadiza, how many they don't even know that there were these programs. And this is what I've been talking about. Which language were they using? How many vernacular languages that people understood what was supposed to be done? Show me the programs on local radio stations. They should show me that this is what they did. Because we have even a radio station in Chiengi. How many times did they ask people to go?
Are these recommendations you have made to the CZ?
So what I can tell you is that I cannot make a recommendation to people who do not have ears. I wrote a letter. I sent even my representative, then our Secretary General, to say this is not what we want when we had a meeting at Mlungushi. And the only thing we were told is that what you've said here, you have to send you have to send us an email. And if they attended to that, the following day they went to the media and they said they would go ahead with removing this thing of putting the stamp at the back of what do you call this? The ballot paper. They don't listen. But we told them there's even a video to that. They don't listen. So how do you make recommendations to somebody who has made up his or her mind? Maybe you, the media house, would be in a better position as them on TV to tell us what we should do. To people who cannot listen. When they've said what they've made up their mind, this is what they want to be done, then that's how it's supposed to be. But we've done our recommendations.
Let's talk about your political ambitions. You recently announced that you'd like to contest in the 2026 general election and to stand as president. Is this still on the table?
Of course. And it's not, it is still on the table. And I'm contesting as an independent presidential candidate, which some people didn't understand and they want to go to court for interpretation. But the Constitution is very clear. It's still on the table. I'm standing as a presidential candidate, independent, the first female independent presidential candidate.
Is there any reason why you would like to stand as an independent? Do you think you have strength going into an election like this on your own?
I've got people. It's not about a political party does not make someone to be strong. It's the people. I've worked with people before, and I'm still an independent member of parliament. I've worked with people, even now. If you watched the Youth Day and Women's Day, we celebrated in these other cities. Who went to tell them to do that? The Zambians themselves. They've decided we need a woman and an independent person who will not bring cadres on in any event like Women's Day or Youth Day or Independence Day to fight each other. I'll tell you something, what happened in Chipata, where a woman lost her child yesterday. I was there, and I was watching PF and Upnd killing each other because the political parties. But
this was happening in Chipata?
Yesterday. There's a video I'll share with you, if you don't mind. I'll share with you. And I was right there at Kapata bus station. Because the political parties is about them, not the Zambians. If it were about the Zambians, they will respect the human rights for any person to go in march. But look at them, how they've been killing each other. In Kaputa, they were fighting like animals. That's why we're saying we need an independent president, independent mind people who will not look at anyone like you belong to this. We don't belong to anyone but to the Zambians. We are owned by Zambians, not by any self-interest.
There was a general concern a couple of years back regarding the nomination fee that a female presidential candidate needs to pay, which is about 75,000 kwacha. Is this money that you're ready to pay when we begin the filing of nominations process in May?
ECZ has not yet issued to us. We've been waiting to hear the fees of nomination fees. If it's still 75,000 kwacha, I believe we are now saying, not only for female, even for male, we are saying...
For male presidential candidates should be about 95,000.
Yeah. So what we're saying is that you can only aspire for presidency if you are rich, and which is wrong. There are people who do not have money, but they are wise and they're good leaders. There are people who are rich and wealthy, but they're bad leaders. So when we tag this amount to leadership, I feel it's unfair. It's very unfair, because it's not the money that makes a leader. It's the heart and the character of a person. So now, for a woman, there are other women there who would want to also to aspire. Where are they going to get 75? I can afford that 75,000, but for my sister, maybe a politician who has always wanted to be a leader of the nation, who has seen wrong things that other governments have done, they are hindered by that amount of 75,000. As for me, I would have even said the way they want to give free seats to women in parliament, let them also allow women who, I would say, I don't know if the word vulnerable is the right word. I don't want to, the women who cannot afford, but they want to aspire for the office of the presidency. Let them be given also for free. Let them contest. And those who can afford, because they have to check, those who can afford, they say you can afford, you can pay that 75,000. So that we have more women to participate and to contest this high office in our country. Yeah.
You say women should not be given, these seats freely, and they need to work hard and contest at parliamentary level. Shouldn't this be the case at presidential level, and this 75,000 kwacha shouldn't even be a barricade or a burden?
This is what I've just said. They should say, remember I said women should be given seats in the manner that I explained earlier on. The same thing for presidency. Those who can afford, of course, they will check. We do declare our assets. They will check. This one is cannot afford. Let them be given the opportunity to contest for free, because it's them who are going to fund their campaigns. Because for campaigns, no one should be funded. But for registration, those who can afford, let them afford. Women. What I feel, what I'm against is to make women they cannot when they can. If there's a barrier like the 75,000, say that, okay, those women who want to, but they cannot afford the 75,000, as a government, this is what we're going to do. Mind you, in other nations, in other countries, oppositions are even funded by the government. They are funded by the government. So in that Bill 7, maybe I was going to support it, they say the government of the day will be supporting women who are vulnerable, who want to, or political parties who want to participate. Not political parties who are even failing to participate at these events. They don't have even numbers. But see, it has to be a constitutional right, which we have. So it has to be also a constitutional right for the government to encourage everyone to participate. So sponsor the women in particular, and men who want to aspire.
One of the requirements for you to stand as presidential candidate is that you need to have at least 100 supporters who are verified voters for you to be able to qualify. And this leads me to my next question. Do you have these 100 supporters ready, and have they been verified to vote?
Yes, I do. I do have. In fact, I have more than 1,000 across the country because each province is 100. I have more than that.
And with regards now to your mobilization, you say that yes, you have 1,000, but what does this look like from your end in terms of mobilizing ahead of the 2026 general election?
It looks good because I have people who are working. I cannot go to all the parts of the country. So there are people who are volunteers, who have volunteered to work with me. I would say, that's what I was saying, if you followed maybe some areas in, you'll see that there are a lot of people, and we didn't just have, we couldn't manage to distribute the T-shirts in time. Some were receiving T-shirts after 14 hours, like in Serenge, and in Muchinga also they got their...
Are you referring to Youth Day?
Youth Day, yes. Even Women's Day, because of where we are printing the T-shirts, they had a challenge with power. Now, I want to tell you something, that we are very comfortable. I say we because we are a team. It's not I, because I'm not going there. I'm not going to State House as an individual, but I'm going to the State House as the people of Zambia.
Have you already recognized the running mate?
Have I recognized?
Already recognized the running mate?
Yes. And deliberately, we've kept that person.
Is this person a woman?
Sorry?
Is this person a woman?
Yes. And deliberately, we've hidden that person because we've been looking at what has been happening with these political parties. Some cannot stand the pressure. They can be offered anything, then tomorrow you see them in the newspaper. Maybe on the day that you want to go for nomination, the person is gone missing, or on the day of a day before, they will just turn their backs on you. In fact, what I did was that I identified 2 people.
Right.
And they are aware that there are 2 of them, and we've agreed the person that will go with. It's a person who is quite known in our country and a well-matured person.
In the general feeling amongst the Zambia of people is that we do not have a formidable opposition, that there's a lot of confusion that is being recognized, that the opposition is not unified. Do you think that you are strong enough of a candidate to outsit the UPND?
I am the right person, and I'm very strong, actually. I am a firm believer, you don't let your opponent knows what you're doing. I have this saying, if you look at the dry fish, you can keep the dry fish somewhere for months, thinking you have dry fish. At the end of the day, when you want to cook, you find that it's just a shell. There's that maggot thing. We call it in Bemba ichundu. So I like calling myself Ninebo chundu. You think you have fish there. It's not there. When you want to cook, it's just a shell. I don't believe in announcing what I'm doing. I'll just give also a very good example. Who is organizing these people in these provinces? Have you seen me going there? The challenge we have is that people are focusing on PF and UPND.
That's because they're probably the biggest.
And we like it that way. We like it that way. UPND will know the real opposition on the day of voting and when they'll be announcing the results.
Even the opposition, some opposition leaders have gone on to say that the only way they're going to outsit the UPND is if they're unified, if they come together to win this general election, they will need to come together. Don't you think that you equally need to form or join an alliance?
No, and I have an alliance with the people of Zambia. How would you make an alliance of a political party which is not the people of Zambia? I have an alliance with the people of Zambia. I've asked a very simple question. Who is organizing these people? Is it me? Is it the political party? Zambians themselves, they said, we are tired. Yesterday, somebody just said, I've heard that you are here in Chipata. Here. and they help me here and there. I don't even know these people. But they are saying they are tired of the political party system, which is broken in our country. And they've agreed with me to make matters worse, or to conclude or to agree with what I've been talking about, PF and UPND, or political party system. It's what we witnessed yesterday. So what we are saying is that let them form the alliance. They are an alliance. They cannot even go to march to show people here we are. Most of these politicians, let me even look straight in your eyes, they are not really in politics for the sake of the interests of the Zambians. It's for the sake of the gain. What am I going to get out of here? And also for men, because they're the ones who dominated politics in our country. For them...
What makes you any different from what you're saying?
I'm a woman, I'm a mother, and I've learned also from the woman from Liberia how she managed to bring the nation together. And that has been my passion. My passion is to see that we come together, where I'll not point at anyone, you come from Southern, you come from Eastern, you come from... We are not interested in that. We want to move together as a nation, and that can only happen if there's a unifier. And the unifier should be an independent person who will not agree with any of these political parties.
You are the unifier.
I am. And we are talking about unity, love, and the restoration of our dignity, which we've lost as a nation.
Seeing that you're the unifier, have you been able to engage your fellow opposition members?
How do you engage people who are already fighting one another?
But isn't that
Don't
why
you
you're
see?
here, the
Don't you
unifier,
see it?
to bring unity amongst the opposition?
I'm not for the political parties. I'm for the people of Zambia. And my worry is the interests of the Zambians, not a political party. I think you should get me.
The Zambian people
The
who still go
Zambian
ahead to vote for political parties and their leaders.
Few would do that. But I can assure you this time they've made up their mind. They're going independent because they're tired to the bone marrow because of what is happening with the political party system. You may deny it. The truth of the matter is that the political party system is broken in our country.
When you say
it's
that,
not serving any purpose.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? The political system is broken. What do you mean?
You mean you don't see it?
I'm asking you, what do you mean?
What I mean is that the political party system is not doing what it's meant to do in our country.
And what is that?
However, it's bringing division, tribalism.
Tribalism where? Where is this tribalism?
You don't
happening?
hear when even the president, when he goes to Choma, the way he comes out? You don't hear that? Don't pretend. You are in the
Tribalism
media.
Tribalism in what context exactly?
Tribalism is when I go to Luapula, I start telling people of Luapula, vote for me. Don't vote for any other person. If you vote for any other person, those people, if you don't go through, you go to Lusaka, they'll be beating you up. What am I saying?
And this is what the president is saying?
Unless you never watch that. If you never watched it, don't ask me. But I want you to know
because you're
that
saying,
it was on public.
So I'm
It's in the public domain. It was there.
What did he say?
He said, if you don't vote for me, and you people from Choma, when you board the bus, if you go there, they'll be beating you that they're from Choma. What do you call that?
You think that's tribalism?
Oh, if you as a journalist, you think that is correct, that is right, then I'm worried. It's the reason we're going independent. We want people can condemn where we hear a leader issuing certain statements which do not go with our unity in our country. Because if I start talking like that, the first thing, even before I finish talking, I'll get arrested for being tribal. Mabonga went to jail for issuing similar statement.
So the political system is broken because there's tribalism, is what you're saying?
It's not only that. It's broken because there's also corruption. It's about favoritism, that you cannot run away from it. And it's about, if I'm in politics, you go to PACRA, there's a certain form where it's asking you if you belong to a political party, if you're an official, and what position you're holding. What do you call that in Zambia? It means we have to know if you belong to PF, you belong to UPN, you belong to whatsoever. Why do you have to attach that? When the Constitution is very clear, you have the right of affiliation to any political party that you wish to. So what I'm saying is that the political party system is broken. It's broken into in the sense that even in parliament, now when you go to parliament, instead of defending the Zambians and the constitution, it's about defending a political leader and his party.
Have you been approached by the UPND to join them or any other political movement?
Well, that used to happen, and even now, but I cannot accept it because I'm just too principled for that. I don't change. What I say is what I go for. And I've said, their system is broken. How would you go to join something that is broken? If I were a person like any other, by now, I would have even supported the Bill 7. Or I would have, my husband is a Tonse spokesperson. I would have been following him. But I know what I'm talking about. When I look at these political parties, the damage that they've done to our nation is unrepairable. You cannot repair what they've done unless somebody comes in and say, you political parties, stay this side and this side. Let's have somebody in the middle who's not going to align himself or herself to any of you. Then we are going to start building our nation in the manner that we are supposed to do. I can assure you, UPN would want to cling to power because they're scared. If they leave, the PF party goes there, or whosoever party goes there, it will be vengeance. And this has been going on. When MMD came into power, you saw how UNIP was treated. When PF came into power, you saw how MMD was treated. UPND has come into power, you've seen how they've treated PF. And that is affecting innocent Zambians. How do you go with such kind of a system where all we see is about showing the muscles?
So what are you going to do different then?
What I'll do different, I've explained even from the way I'm talking. When I get that plot, one seat, there will be no one who is a former head of state who will be dragged to court. For what? He made those mistakes, or whether deliberately or deliberate, would say, you see, let the Zambians start afresh. We cannot go on. This one comes into power, you grab your friend.
President Lungu was not dragged to court.
Are you sure? You didn't hear when, unless your journalism is questionable, because you're supposed to be putting your ears to the ground. I'll say this,
was he taken
because
to court for?
You've seen what has happened to his family.
I'm speaking specifically about the former president
Let
himself.
me tell you something. You didn't see that policeman who was even treating the former head of state like a nobody when they went to his house? Now I want to answer you. I want to answer you. The way President Lungu and his family have been treated is just as good as dragging Lungu to court. The current government was pushing to have his immunity removed. It's there in the house. Had he not died, by now that motion was going to be brought in the house. I'm talking about things that I know as a member of parliament and as a Zambian.
It's very tell you
something. Let me answer you. Listen, what is happening in our country, somebody has to put an end to it. I have to come a president so that we show President Hakainde Hichilema that you don't treat your colleagues like that. His colleagues are already gone, so they cannot see the mistakes that they made by dragging their predecessors to courts or ill-treating them. You can't live like that.
It's very interesting
in a civilized
it's very interesting that you are talking about or accusing the UPND government of these things that you claim they're
I'm not accusing them. Listen,
an
accusation is different from being factual. Unless you want to pretend maybe because I'm on TV aligns itself with UPND. If it does, then you can. You cannot pretend with what every Zambian is saying.
Let me ask you this question.
I want to tell you this, that what UPND is doing has done more damage than PF did to MMD and their leaders.
You recently were seen in a video, supporting President Hakainde Hichilema, saying that he is not to blame for what's happening in terms of the repatriation of the former president's body. It's the Patriotic Front. But it seems like here you're twisting.
I didn't support him. And that's why we have a problem. I want to say this.
So you didn't say...
We have a problem in Zambia and with journalists. When the journalists have a certain perception about a person, or they align themselves with a political party, they will twist things.
Well,
in that video, what I was trying to deliver to the nation, I said, look, what is happening in PF? If the PF were united, they would have fought. But because of their behavior, anyone has taken advantage. When I spoke like that, people, because of the way I said
you should not blame the president and the attorney general.
Yes, because if the political party of President Lungu had shown unity, they would have fought. They would have fought for their leader even to be buried, whether in South Africa or here, but they're busy fighting each other. When you're fighting in your home, you open a door. It's not that I support what the president has done, sending, what's his name, Kavesha. No, that's inhuman. That's inhuman. But you should understand the language which I was using. But because people, they have this perception, and the member of parliament for Chiengi, oh, she said this, I don't care what they say. But the wise called me, and they agreed with me what I was talking about. I even spoke about having their friends in jail. But they're busy fighting. Why didn't they talk about that part? But they just speak like that. In Zambia, people want to make news over it's just a small thing. But for me,
well, I mean...
so I want to correct, let me use this platform. I never supported President Hakainde Hichilema for what he's done to take the Lungu family to court. I never supported. I was trying to say, look what is happening in PF. Don't blame these guys. Those are the words. Don't blame them. They're the ones who are to blame. Because if they were united, they would have fought. We will not be even where we are today.
I'd like to talk about us commemorating Youth Day recently, and you said that the youth had turned up in numbers, those that are in support of yourself. One of the things that I remember was a video of yourself encouraging your fellow, much older member of parliament to band or come together to ensure...
To do what?
To band or stand together.
Yeah.
To ensure that these young people don't take up your seats.
Yes.
You
know why?
My question...
I'll give you an answer before you even ask me a question. Look what's happening at the University of Zambia. For us to remove Kaunda, it took the University of Zambia students. Then I was a manager at Chelson ZCBC. There were next to Engine. There used to be ZCBC there. We had so much respect for the youth. In any nation where the youth cannot hold accountable a national leader or a president, then you know they don't deserve to go to parliament.
But we have a number of youths who are doing that.
Who are those? Let me tell you, the ones that we look up to in every nation are the university students. If you follow history, there's a time in China, it took the university students when even the government sent those tankers to run over those students. But they were fighting for their nation. It was not the politicians. Now, if we have the future leadership of the country,
the crop of the
let
youth that
me
we
tell
have
you,
now,
I want to answer you.
I'm not holding the government accountable.
How do you hold somebody accountable, the person that you're praising who's doing wrong things? How many students at Yunza are getting a meal allowance? How many students at Yunza are getting the bursaries?
So the president,
let me tell you,
the president has been on record
praise,
saying that this has been handled. So you're saying that students are not getting meal allowances?
What kind of a journalist are you?
Students
it's
are not,
not
getting
every student who gets the meal allowance. For your information, my son is there. He's an engineer. This is his 5th year.
Students are not
so
being
it's
given
not
bursaries.
every student who gets the bursary. It's not every student, Zambian student at UNZA who gets a meal allowance. I want you to get it clear. If we're to go there and get the information, they're not even up to 10,000. So what are you telling me?
Where are you getting these statistics from?
What do you mean? I am a politician. My son is also there. Does he get that meal allowance?
Where are you getting your
Does my
statistics
son get a bursary? No. So I want, and his friends, most of the students as we're speaking, they've dropped out, they've gone to work.
This current government, everything they have
I want
said
you
about
to
the
tell you
students
something that
is
you
false. It's a lie.
cannot praise somebody who is not doing a right thing. Now, that video you saw, and it's a reason I say the problem we have is that Zambians, they rush to judge without listening to the wisdom behind the word.
Let me ask, in fact, let me ask my
I told
question.
the members of parliament not to allow these young people
who
would rush to go to parliament, and when they get to parliament, they'll be just, yeah.
Let me ask my question.
And this, one of the chiefs in North Southern Province agreed with me. It was even in the newspaper. Now I want to tell you that something, that I'm not against, I'm not against any youth. Come and see my leadership. I've got a national youth chairperson, very useful, young.
So these are the ones who deserve to take up leadership in parliament, your youths.
Let me tell you something. The youths who should take up leadership are the youths who would look straight in my eyes and talk to me, say, what you're doing is wrong.
And these are
look at the leadership of the youths of South Africa.
These are the youths
but not the ones who go to dance. I'm here to see the students in South Africa dancing for Cyril Ramaphosa. They know the future lies in the youths, not us. So now you have those whose future, they're supposed to be leaders, but they go to dance for somebody who's doing wrong things. Then I wonder. And these are the leadership who want to go to parliament. I saw they were so happy. Now we are going to go to parliament. If you ask them,
what kind of youths do you have in your movement?
I have a lot.
Okay, and they're the ones who deserve to go to parliament.
Because they understand. And they have their national positions. And they understand politics. And these are the ones who are even saying, this is our country and it's going to remain with us, not you Madalas, you're about to leave. Now, if you have the young leadership who cannot understand or read the Constitution, who cannot even, when they just hear that there's a bill coming without reading the Constitution, the then president of UNZA said, yes, we want it to come because the youth has to go. Do you understand when the youths listen to me? Is it Justin? You said I was stopping them. And I'm saying the reason I do this is because of this.
You're saying
you have a youth who has not read a document, has not even understood, and is busy supporting Bill 7, which had not even come to Parliament, which was not even yet published to the nation.
Well, I don't think you should impose what they should support and what they shouldn't support. I mean, if somebody believes that a bill...
And you want us to take ignorance to Parliament?
Let's conclude with this.
You cannot take ignorance to Parliament. And I want to put it so clear. Any youth who is ignorant does not deserve to go to Parliament. We want youths who can read, do the research, and see that this is our country.
Let's conclude
not just to
You are saying the Upnd is doing a number of wrong things.
Of course.
Is there anything that they have done right in the last 4 years?
What they've done right? I'll tell you what they've done right. They've reintroduced, I want you to underline, they have reintroduced free education with wrong method of implementation.
What's the wrong method?
The wrong method is that classrooms are overcrowded. We are supposed to look at the way we're going to have every child access quality education. One child was asking me, where is Muchinga province? And you're in a government school, you don't know where Muchinga province is? This is a graduate, a youth. A graduate, and if this person who watch this will say, this woman is going to talk about me. A graduate doesn't know where Muchinga province is. What I want to tell you, I will give you an example. Right? That's one thing that they've done to bring back free education. And I hope they'll look into now structures, infrastructure for schools. And I hope they'll look into our education curriculum, which is nothing to talk about. Children you find somebody's even in grade 7 or whatever, or Form 2, whatever, they can't even read properly. We need to revisit this. So now listen, I want to answer you. The wrong things, they've done a lot of wrong things.
Let's talk about the right things they have done.
Okay, the right thing I've talked about.
You already talked about the wrong things. Let's talk about the right things.
No, you didn't give me a chance to talk about the wrong things they've done. They've done a lot of damage, a lot.
I'm interested in hearing the right things.
When you try to trample on somebody's rights and you want to gag them, that's just beyond even wrong. It's just wrong.
Okay,
now,
so you said
the right
sector,
free education,
education.
They've done decentralization using CDF. No one can argue on that. But now how is CDF being used, and how much do they give CDF to the local government? Because they paint a picture like they give us that total amount. I'll speak as an independent person. We don't get that amount. And I want to say that we don't. It's a reason most of the projects get stalled, and some projects we cannot even do. On the paper, there's CDF, yes. Most of the time, the money that they give us is for bursaries and skills. And that's, of course, going back to free education. Bursaries and skills, yes. Community projects, sometimes the money will come in. And grants, they will give for grants because it's a political tool. And where they make sure that it goes to cooperatives which are formed of political parties. I'm talking of what is on the ground.
What are you basing this
and I'm a member of parliament.
So this is what's on ground.
And I am a member of parliament who is supposed to sit where we give we distribute or allocate CDF. Where now, instead of doing decentralization, they bring in even the DC and what and what.
Is that what
So again, it's going back to, going back to the government. Decentralization, we expect districts to operate independently and to deliver. When you talk about the other good things that they've done, I'm not too sure. Because if I start counting for you, starting from the road they are constructing here, which is now big potholes, the new roads, Ndola, Lusaka Highway, so it tells you the quality. When you talk about you talk about human rights, it's evident.
Let's conclude with this. We're pressed for time, and very quickly, what message of hope then are you promising the Zambian people today that you are the right candidate to be selected in the 2026 general election?
The message of hope is that first thing first, people will be expecting us to go for vengeance or to arrest the former president. We will not do that. And I want the Zambians to know. Because we want to end this thing of vicious cycle of former presidents being arrested or what. I know people will not be happy, but it's for me, and it's not for political, for me, like a political mileage. No, we've said in order for us to start afresh, that we are the ones to bring this unity in our country and to love one another like it used to be before, and the restoration of our dignity, which we've lost. When you talk about dignity loss, we do not own what is ours. Everything is in the hands of foreigners. We want Zambians to own what is theirs. That's the minerals or our natural resources. So we are saying, Zambians, time has come for you to put an independent person who is going to bring true meaning of one Zambia, one nation, where we'll not see vengeance or anyone being dragged to court because of political mistakes. Because most of these, they get excited when they are in power. Those, to me, I call them political mistakes. In order to bring an end to that, we are saying we are the right people to take up the office. And I want to say, and we can only do it with an independent person and a mother, so that the mother will come in as a pacifier of what we're seeing in our country. We start afresh.
Chengi Member of Parliament, Honorable Katuta, thank you for joining us on this day today.
Thank you so much.